Here they roll. Hi, Monica. Hi, Tina. Tina's in all of these. That's my fan right there. Hi, Katie. Kelly's here. Courtney Fong, where have you been? I just got to see you. Carolina, hi. A lot of Kate, multiple Katies. Hi, welcome. This is so exciting. Leanne, hi. Hi, Lorena. Hi, Liz. Luann's here. Oh, Tina, I have some fans, Barbara. Don't be offended. There's a few people.
I'm a
really
fan. I'm
like
a fan. I'm a fan,
right?
so I'm not offended.
Hi, Michelle. Sarah Sharp, what are you doing in here? Aren't you supposed to be working in that office? Hi, Sonia. Sarah, are you in your office? Do you want me to bump you up to a host? Want to say hi? No, silence. I'm on my phone. Okay. Good call. We won't tell Chris Campbell. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Zinnia. Vanessa. This is exciting today. See, so Barbara, most of our clients take multiple webinars, so it's fun to see. Hi, Tracy.
Yep, that's great.
Chris Campbell is here.
Hi, Chris.
Oh no, I'm gonna get fired today, Barbara. Should I?
Hi, Chris.
Chris, I just allowed you to talk. Oh, your screen's off, but you can talk to us.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Yeah, I have to come like check up on Shauna every now and then.
I
I gotta
know.
watch what she's up to.
I'd believe that.
100%.
Morgan's all, uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Just kidding. Is everyone coming? Hi, Regina. Chris, we love when you pop up on these. These are fun. Look at Tina. Oh my God, the Chris Campbell is live. She's here. Hi, Carolina. How fun. Okay, well, I'm just going to give it another minute. Hi, Alexis is in here. How fun. Okay, I better be on my best behavior today. We can't see you, Yesenia. We can't see any of you. You guys can just see us. So if
that was loud.
no worries. If your hair's a mess and your dog's sitting on your lap, we don't care. It's fine. It's fine. We have a lot to cover today, so I'm gonna jump right in. As you guys know, we're here with Barbara Devlin and Thomas Monk, Savannah Lotan. We're super excited.
Hi, everybody.
This webinar is about treating compromised skin. That's what I do. It's my niche. It's what I've done my whole entire aesthetics career. So this webinar is near and dear to me. It means a lot to me to talk about oncology clients. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so there's pieces of Anna Lotan and products that work really, really well too on oncology clientele. When I first started, there wasn't a lot to choose from in the arena of products. I had to, of course, always use Hale Hush. You guys know I've used this it's 8 years, almost 9. However, I would have to piece other lines together to actually find different treatments that would work for my oncology and my autoimmune clientele. One thing from this line, 2 things from this line, 1 thing, and it's very difficult to navigate that when you're just starting or you've decided to treat this type of clientele. So fortunately, Anna Lotan has more than one. They have multiple to choose from. So it's really easy to have both of our lines to treat this clientele. And then the hunting and gathering of pieces stops, and it makes it much more easy for the esthetician. So for me, that's why I decided I wanted, plus you guys, you don't know this, but Barbara Devlin is a wealth of knowledge. This lady is inspiring. She's been in the biz forever. I had never seen her in person. I've just heard her name thrown around. So I went to this retreat, and I saw on the thing that, ooh, Barbara Devlin's going to be there. And I had no idea. And she walked up on the stage, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love her. We're going to be best friends. And she hadn't even met me. And I was like, oh yeah, we're friends. She doesn't know it, but I know it. I know it. And if you guys have been on other webinars with me, and even last month when we talked about retail sales, I always use, of anything I took away from this retreat. There's one line that will stay with me for the rest of my life, and it's from Barbara. And I always use it, and I always say it's from you, Barbara, is
Okay.
that if you are not retailing to your clients, that is professional negligence. And I will never forget that. And so people that impact you with the one-liners, you know they have so many other things to say. So very exciting. I love Barbara. Then we actually met, and then we realized, oh, we really do like each other.
Mhm.
I finally, made her love me, but here we are. So I have a little bit to present today, and then I'm going to get to the good things. Barbara probably is way more interesting than me. You guys are probably tired of hearing me talk. And as you know, some slides will be on here that are the same that we talk about all the time, because guess what? I'm Hale Hush no matter what I do. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen. If you guys want to continue to chat in the chat box and make comments to each other, excuse me, you go right ahead. If you have a real question, please put it in the question and answers, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. Okay, I don't want to forget about that or anybody else. And of course, you guys, we're having some fun giveaways today, because we cannot do a webinar without some fun prizes. And that's why Morgan and her spinner is here, right? So Chris Campbell gets to experience how excited we get to give her stuff away. Kill me. Anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen. See if I can do it, Barbara, without
I know, really.
messing up my own portion, because
I've been told not to touch anything, so I'm not touching anything.
I got you. Okay, so today we're talking about treating medically compromised skin, what that means, what products can help with that. Realizing that if this is a niche that you want to get into, you'll need way more education than we can offer you in 1 hour today. But it's just a little tidbits and little taster of information if this is where you're headed, or if you do have some of these clients already. I do have one thing I beg of you: if you are not oncology certified or trained, please do not see cancer clients. Do yourself a favor and your client, and refer them to someone that can. There's a lot of liability in that type of clientele, and that is one of my big things. You must be educated. You should be certified to touch these type of clients. And so I'll stop with all that, but please. So again, we have a collaboration, and you don't hear a lot of lines actually collaborating together. We're both a niche line also, just like you guys know, we partner with Face Reality. I think the importance of collaborations are so important. It does expand your knowledge. Look at more resources. Once you guys hear Barbara talk, you'll consider her a highly sought after resource. Of course, it gives you more treatment options in the treatment room, and ways to adapt the protocols, especially to this type of clientele. They have more choices as far as treatments and home care. You get better results sometimes if you expand that knowledge and you have different things to choose from. And of course, this is my niche. I've done very well with it. If you find a niche in this industry, that's usually the way to go, and how to become really successful. So that's why we collaborate. And hey, Barbara, she's cool. So there's that. And her hair looks great today, guys. Have you noticed that? Look at her hair.
I just came from the hairdresser. It was a coincidence that it happened to be the same. I get it every 4 Thursdays. I get my hair done. So it was
But
just,
today she
yeah,
looks
but today
good.
it's really good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month is this month, and so 360,000 people will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year alone, and those are new cases, not reoccurring. Of course, how do we take control of this and how do we stop it is early detection. And of course, getting our screenings, our mammograms, self-checks, go to all the things. And that really does help the survival rate. I have a lot of clients now, and you'll even hear other people when they get breast cancer, it is not the end of the world any longer. It used to be like that many years ago, just like any other cancer. But if the earlier you catch it, the higher your survival rate and your normal life expectancy. So everyone, get out there and get your boobs checked. All of you, men, women, everybody. It's very important. Breast cancer happens in men also. Sometimes people forget to think about that. So make sure we're all getting checked out. Of course, sensitive skin is our specialty. Most of you on here know this already. You know that our products are designed, and we have our roots in oncology aesthetics, so this is what we do. And as you guys know, we're creating new product all the time. And of course, we always focus on that type of clientele, medically compromised skin. That doesn't always mean cancer. That also means a lot of other types of medication. We have training for you. You guys know our drills. We have no minimums. We drop ship to you, and we do the best we can. And our results are, our products are effective. You can see the results. But what we focus on is barrier repair, and that's what we're going to talk a lot about today, the stratum corneum and that epidermal barrier. Helps with inflammation. We're loaded with antioxidants, especially from our new chemist, which he's incredible at picking those formulations and those ingredients for us. Of course, aging skin, but we're really focused hydration and calming and soothing the skin and this type of clientele. Let's talk about, and I tried to pick the least offensive photos for this, because this can get really bad, you guys working with this clientele. I don't really want to scare anybody. But the types of treatment that really change the skin and have effects on the skin are chemotherapy and immunotherapy, right? They're there to fight certain molecules in the tumors, but guess what? Those are also the same molecules in our hair, skin, and nails. And that's why it's a direct effect usually. People ask me, how does cancer affect the skin? It's usually not cancer itself unless it is skin cancer. It's usually the medications and therapies associated with those other cancers in the body. So like chemotherapy is a huge one. It changes sometimes composition of DNA and RNA, targeted drug therapy, immunotherapy, and this is where your autoimmune clients come in. Medically compromised skin isn't always cancer. Radiation therapy, stem cell transplants, and of course, hormone therapy can also affect the skin in many ways. So again, just remember, sometimes it's not the disease or disorder directly. Sometimes, most of the time, it is those medications and treatments that they're trying to stifle, the disease and disorder. So it's always usually medication's always the target. Whoops, sorry, it clicked. Common changes during cancer treatments, and what I've seen most in my treatment room, are definitely rashes. Rashes and dry, scaly skin that hurts, itches, and burns for the client, right? That is mostly what you see. However, with a lot of chemotherapies and the immunotherapy drugs coming out now, it also changes pigment in the skin, sometimes dark as hyperpigmentation, but I've also seen sometimes hypopigmentation where the skin loses melanin completely. So it can go either way. And then this one, it's so funny. I started in oncology aesthetics because my godmother had pancreatic cancer. And the thing she hated the most, she lost her hair, her eyebrows, all these crazy things happened to her. And you know what she hated the most? She counted, she had 17 new moles. She just hated the moles, because we're Portuguese, we get moles anyway, so you add moles to moles, and she was always so frustrated. So you can possibly develop new growths. Of course, it's dependent, all of this dependent on your medical history, the type of treatment, and the type of drug. But you can see the variety of changes in the treatment room. And really what happens is treatments affect the function of the epidermal barrier, which targets mostly that stratum corneum that we always talk about. And guess what that, guys? Barrier function. It's compromised barrier function. The epidermal barrier maintains the water content, helps with TOOL. You guys know that big word, that transepidermal water loss. It really keeps the skin hydrated or not. And this is where that extreme dryness comes in. It really prevents and has a response to invasive things in our bodies, and this is part of the microbiome, but it really protects against microbial organisms and those antigens. And so if these medications affect our microbiome, also affects topically that epidermal barrier. That barrier also reduces the effects of ultraviolet light exposure, right? It helps us, our melanin, and that's where some of those treatments come into play with increase or decrease of melanin. And then, of course, it helps mitigate the effects of oxidative stress, which is why sometimes we need antioxidants during these treatments. However, some chemotherapy drugs don't always allow certain antioxidants like vitamin C. So this is where your education and where your esthetician team of oncology estheticians can help you out to figure out how to manipulate through all of this process. But this is what I see in my treatment room. You can see severe reactions. Someone that's never had a reaction have a reaction to water, right? It doesn't even have to be an active. I see a lot of redness. They do complain of the pain and swelling. Like again, what I said, rashes is what I see most all over the body. It doesn't have to be just on the face. It's uncomfortable for them sometimes to touch their skin, and they're usually sensitive to touch, heat, and friction. Complete unsuccessful patch tests over and over. That sometimes happens. And every appointment, that skin changes to have a new sensitivity. Surprise, surprise. These type of clients will always shock you in the treatment room. And that's why I really harp on getting trained in oncology aesthetics and ingredients and formulations and all that kind of stuff. But Hale and Hush has some wonderful products that can help with the symptoms of these conditions, right? It can help with inflammation, redness, and really help repair the barrier. These are our 4 go-tos for this type of clientele. Our Quiet Wash, you guys know, can be used all over the body, head to toe. The Hush Hydrate Gel can calm and soothe that skin on contact. The Relief Bio Powder is our magic powder that can help immediate with itching, burning, stinging. And then our new Remit, excuse me, every time I go from California to Washington, I get all froggy. So I'm sorry, I just got home last night. Excuse me. And Remedy Rehab Oil really, really helps nourish the skin and kind of just amps up that healing process. So those are the 4 products that I always suggest for these type of clients. Yes, we have more, but the Magic Trifecta is what we're going to give away today. The Magic Trifecta would be your go-to retail bundle for these type of clients, and Barbara will have her own suggestions also. So for us, the Magic Trifecta is where it's at for this type of clientele. As you can see, if you've taken our PK class, with most of you have, because I see all your pretty names on my certificates, the products with active ingredients are the ones we do not suggest for those with cancer, right? Because you never know how the body and how the skin's going to react to vitamin C, vitamin A, mandelic acid. We have all those enzymes in our incredible enzyme. Our toner has salicylic, and the new charcoal clarifying mask has an AHA combo that could actually harm the skin if used improperly on this type of clientele. But lots of other products to choose from, right? Lots of products to make people happy and to feel good. And that's what the goal is here with this type of clientele. I get asked a lot. I think even Morgan's asked me, like, why did you ever choose the hardest type of clients out there? Like, why would you do this? Well, because someone's got to make a difference out there, right? Someone's got to take care of the hard people, because if not, who are they going to go to? I like to make people feel good and feel loved, and that's why I was an esthetician, and that's why I chose this route. I'm going to cry about it. Barbara, I'm kind of sappy, remember? So, you know.
I am on this subject, so.
I am too. I just can't. But we're here to treat symptoms. We're not here to cure anything, to fix anything. We're not physicians, but we're going to treat some symptoms that are uncomfortable. We're going to improve the client's appearance. We're going to make them feel better about themselves, make them feel human again. We're going to improve their well-being. We're going to give an ear to listen to, a comfortable bed to lie in. We're just going to make them feel like they matter, right? We're going to help build their self-esteem back up and build that self-image, create a healing environment where they feel safe. Personally, it fulfills me a lot to see this clientele. When you can make someone feel better in a very, very tragic part of their life, or even towards the end of their life, you get your angel wings. You see this weird light behind me today? That's it, guys. Just kidding. It's the window. But still, this type of client, you take care of these clients, you're going to get into heaven or whatever you believe for sure, right? Plus, it's a niche in the industry, and you can make some good money doing it. So, yeah, that's why I do it. We do at Hale and Hush. Remember, you guys were coming out with a new immersive oncology program. It's coming January. I know it was supposed to be here in fall. Nobody get mad. I know. It's too close to Christmas now. We cannot do it at this moment, but it is ready to roll out in January. So if you guys are interested in that, you can email me or just stay tuned, because our beautiful Morgan down there will start posting it as soon as the date is set and it's ready to roll. And we will figure that out tomorrow. So it should be up on the agenda by next month. Okay. You guys know our passion is your success. We're here for you and everything we do. Our facial program is continuing for 2025. And then all of our quarterly marketing is there for you. Also, you guys have seen this slide a million times, right? But just remember, we're going to be announcing everything we have ready for 2025 in the December webinar coming up in just a little bit. So don't forget to register for that one. That one's going to be all the secret telling. Don't tell Krista. See, when she's on these, this is how I get in trouble. It's great. Okay. We're going to have a lot of new things coming out. These are the webinars we have left. Next month is Benefits of LED for Sensitive Skin with Richard Maher, my love from LightStim. Even if you don't use LightStim, if you have other brands, just listen to what LED can do for sensitive skin. It's really important. And then there's the secret telling, thinking outside the box for 2025 and what we're going to do for next year and how we're going to help you become better estheticians and learn and grow just like all of us should. And then there's Chris's cell phone number. If anybody would like to tell on me or tell her some good secrets, there you go. And then that's my information too. Today, if you win a prize, you will be emailing me at education@haleandhush.com. So please write that down. I am going to now get off of this stop share, get off of this. Right, it's about 2:25, Barbara. We now get to hear from, and please introduce yourself, Barbara, in a more professional way. I always just gush how I love people, but you know, you're more than that. So please introduce yourself in a professional way, and then go ahead and teach us something new. We're ready.
Sounds wonderful. So first of all, I want to reach out to Shauna and Chris for inviting Anna Lotan, myself, and Thomas to be part of this webinar. It was very generous, very loving of them, and really it just proves that the bottom line is they're concerned about you as the esthetician and working on your clients. So, you know, we know there's so many lines out there. You know, as an esthetician, we have so many options and things to look at. And it's really nice when you see a company that wants to collaborate with another skincare line. So it's really heartwarming that we were invited today. So, you know, I'll give you a little bit of my background. You know, I've been an esthetician for 30 years. And when right out of the gate, when I became an esthetician, I had lost my father a few years prior to going to aesthetic school, and he died of cancer. And so, and in those days, it pretty much was, you know, he was in his 60s, he was young, and in those days, it was really a death sentence. Like, you knew, when they used to call it the big C. I remember when he told me, he only told me, I'm one of 6 children, and I had a mother and a father, and he only told me and told me not to tell anybody, you know? So, anyways, he passed away, and then I ended up, you know, going to aesthetic school. And my first full-time job was, so I'm located in Woburn, Mass. Anna Lotan here, our headquarters are in Woburn, Mass. I went to aesthetic school in Woburn. I happened to live in Woburn for 2 more weeks. I'm moving. But I worked in Andover, Mass, my first job. And one of my clients, my very first clients, was the head of the volunteers for the Cancer Society. And I think it's national. I don't even know if it's still active today. It was called like Look Good, Feel Good, or Look Good, Feel Better. And she was one of my clients, and she said to me, you know, I would love, you know, for you to get involved. So I became one of the only estheticians it's considered Merrimack Valley, north of Boston. And I started working on cancer patients as soon as I graduated from aesthetic school. And I knew I wanted to get into this after I, you know, losing my father. So, you know, most of us pick a cause because it has touched us, you know, so whatever whatever has touched your life is probably what you want to get behind and either volunteer or, learn more about. So I did that for, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so, 5 or 10 years. I worked with the Cancer Society. And in those days, you had companies like from Maybelline to Avon to Chanel and Clarins, and every line in between would just donate product. And looking back now, none of the product was probably good for a client going through chemotherapy or radiation, but the intention was there. They had a good intention. So I ended up going to Arizona, and I don't know how many, I'm going to say it was like 15 years ago, I think. And that's when I met Chris for the first time. I went out to Arizona and I took the class from Marac. And I came back to Boston after it was that 3-day class. It's very emotional, these classes. When you take it, the patients come and they share their stories, and, it's very heartwarming, and you really feel privileged that you can even work on them, so, and that they trust you is more important. So I came back. I didn't really know what to do with it. I would randomly have one of my clients might be going through treatment. And then I got involved with the local nonprofit here, and it was a coincidence. I was working for a different skincare line. I went to do a training for the new esthetician. We started talking, oncology came up, and then, so I've been with Anna Lotan now for maybe 6 years. And we have an office, so we're 10 miles north of Boston in Woburn, Mass. And we work with this nonprofit. And just yesterday, we had 4 new cancer patients come. So we donate, Anna Lotan, I'm sitting in this is a 10,000 square foot building. It's a big training center, but I still have a beautiful aesthetic room here. And so we donate this room about once a week. Cancer patients come here and they receive, free treatments from us. And I no longer take new clients, but I do have one woman that's been with me from the beginning. She's very private. She doesn't share a lot. So there's other estheticians that now come here and work on these cancer patients, but I still work on this one. And one of the main things about her is she no longer is taking active treatment. She's decided she doesn't want active treatment anymore, and she still smokes, okay? So she's like, Barbara, you're the only person that I feel doesn't judge me. So when she finishes the treatment here, she goes out front of the building and like sneaks a cigarette, She's like, her doctors told her at this point, it's really not going to make a difference, right? So I really feel like we have a special bond because she trusts me enough and is comfortable enough, So it's really, it's a very fulfilling thing, to be able to do this. Personally, my sister passed away. It will be 6 years in a couple of weeks, Sometimes it's terrible. Sometimes I can talk about my sister like I'm talking about Shauna, we're having a conversation. And other times I can't even talk about it still. 6 years later, it's raw, But anyway, she had breast cancer. She was younger than me, my best friend. Just my whole life just, blew apart. And luckily for me, the job that I have, I was able to be with her because I had flexibility with my schedule. I didn't have to like punch in and punch out every day and go to a boss and say, oh, can I go into Mass General Hospital today? And so I was fortunate. I was blessed. I really feel I was blessed that I was with my sister from, day one to the last day, And I went, like you said, Shauna, with the day that she had to have, the hair was falling out and we had to go get the hair cut off, like even that shocked me. I thought they did it in stages and they didn't. It was my friend was the hairdresser and they turned her back to the mirror and they buzzed her, and they said it's harder. Patients feel it's harder when they lose it piece by piece, right? So I went through all of this with my sister, and so I had firsthand experience working on her with products, So again, it's like, it touched my life, in more ways than I would like to even, think about. So it's very rewarding. And I feel, initially, like I said, I took that, the 3-day class with Marag, and I can't stress enough don't, like Shauna already said in the beginning, do not just let a client come to you. You just don't know how you can work on them. You know, my sister had lymphedema. She had lymph nodes removed in her underarms and the axillary areas. So I couldn't massage her from the waist up, but I could give her a foot massage, right? So, you know, those are the things that you learn when you take these classes. We just want to safely work on these clients, let them come to us all of their appointments, they're being poked and prodded and, you know, whatever. And, you know, they get devastating news. Someday they go in and if they find out it's, you know, they did a PET scan and it's spread. So when they come to us, I want them to just escape from their reality for 1 hour or an hour and a half, whatever it is, you know. So, you know, if you haven't taken, you know, any training yet, you know, just like Shauna said, we can't stress it enough. And continue your education with it. You know, things change. And so, you know, with that, you know, so I ended up when I started working with Anna Lotan, Anna Lotan truly, you know, she was alive when I started with the company. She started the company. She passed away. She was 96. She had a nice long life. She was really ahead of her time. When I look at the paperwork and the brochures and things from the company when she started it, it's all in line with what we're talking about today anyways, you know, the microbiome, barrier support, you know, hydration, antioxidants. So her daughter now is the formulator. And she created this Rosie's line, which I'm going to talk about, but I'm mainly talking about some ingredients. So we have Anna Lotan is a full line. You know, we have products we probably have 100 SKUs. We probably have too many SKUs, to be honest. But we have, you know, aging, pigment. We're coming out with a brand new line with just 9 SKUs for pigment. And so this line is similar. Rosie's only has 9 SKUs. Now, we don't use all of them on oncology patients. So like Shauna said, you know, you pick and choose from Hale and Hush. It's the same thing with these Rosie's products. You can pick and choose. You know, if you love that gentle wash, you know, we have an exfoliator that you might like to add in. So, you know, these two lines really complement each other. So I'm going to try to pull up. So I hit share, correct?
Yes, Barbara.
All right. And
thanks for making me cry.
I know. So like I said, it's really unbelievable. Some days I can talk about my sister and it's like I'm talking about going to Dunkin' Donuts, you know, and other days, you know, plus, you know, her anniversary is, you know, right around the corner. It's in a couple of weeks and it's, you know, it's like it happened yesterday, you know, so,
yeah.
But anyway, so I just, you know, we'll talk about, you know, the products in this, in the Rosie's line. So Sean has already given you an amazing overview of, you know, oncology aesthetics and the side effects and everything that, you know, patients go through. So on Anna Lotan's website, we do have a video actually of me performing this oncology safe caring comfort facial. And we
Barbara,
have,
do you
yep.
think the screen is shared?
Yeah, it's not.
No.
It's not.
All
Thomas,
right.
can you please put the link in the chat for that facial too?
I sure can.
So if I
Appreciate it.
exit full screen, okay, so I hit present, right?
No, no, go back into Zoom
Oh,
first.
hit share, hit share.
Hit share first.
Okay. So I hit share and then it says caught present. Okay, present. And then present full screen. I'm doing something wrong here, Thomas. Let me try. Let's see. Can you see it now?
No,
No. Can you pull it up on your end?
I sure can.
Okay, that's why we are. Okay. Oh my God. See if you can help me out here, Thomas.
You just have to tell him when to swap it for everyone.
Yeah.
But Thomas, you're black, babe. Your screen's black.
Oh,
To the attendees, we did do a dry run.
we did. Shauna, I need permission to share, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thomas. I love your handsome shirt today, Thomas.
Thank you. I was very proud of my shirt. I got it for $2 at Express.
All right on. Okay, Barbara.
I
can
like
you
to ball
see
on
it?
a budget.
All right, so where are you at, Thomas? What slide?
Can you not see it now, Barbara?
Right
Can
now,
everybody else see
what
it?
I see says oncology, safe, caring, comfort facial, but that looks like my slide. I'm
Yes,
gonna
you
come
need to
out of
come
my
back.
slide.
You need to come back into Zoom.
Okay, all right, so. Oh my goodness, I apologize. I'm so sorry, everybody. We did do a dry run. I don't know what happened.
Do you see a Zoom square on the bottom of your
All I
computer?
see, all I have is a big white screen. It says Zoom in the middle.
Okay.
I'm gonna come
shut
out and
that
come
down.
back in. How's that?
No, just
That
shut it
that'll
down.
be faster.
Oh, okay.
If I come out and come back in?
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, I
The
hate
the
Zoom
the
some
love of
days.
Zoom.
I know, it's just like,
I know, I'm here, I'm coming, wait a minute. So normally, we tried, my daughter-in-law who works for me part-time is on maternity leave. I just became a grandmother for the second time, so, normally she's here as kind of my backup, to kind of help me here. It's making me leave this webinar.
yeah, there, she got
There.
it. She'll be
She,
back.
she, she got that. She'll be back
be
in
back.
just a second.
Hang tight, guys. Just because you're an esthetician doesn't mean you know how to do Zoom. That doesn't go together.
No. And I wish I was there, like there.
I know.
Barbara's in
It's okay.
Boston. I'm in North
she's back.
Carolina.
Connecting to audio. You're almost back. Do you see Thomas's screen now?
Okay, back.
Yeah, you're in.
We're
Okay,
back,
thank
and you
you.
can see
Okay.
and you can see the screen now.
Okay, I can see the screen. Yeah, I'm so sorry, everybody. Yeah, I am Indiana, and I take full responsibility. I am technically challenged. All right, so we don't, Shauna has already given us, a great background on, what these patients, what their needs are, and the conditions. So we do have on our website, we have an oncology safe, caring, comfort facial, and there is a video of me actually performing this. We also have a blog on the website, and thank you everyone who's trying to make me feel good by writing things that it wasn't just me. So that they're blaming Zoom. I'll blame Zoom too. We do have a blog on the website. In the blog, will give you ideas of facials you can do depending on where the client is in their treatment. You can move. Yeah. So again, the most important thing is that we, pick, the right products, no harsh chemicals, avoid things that, irritate. The biggest thing is to make sure you have a really comprehensive, intake form. For the nonprofit that comes here, we also have the client, they have to have permission from their oncologist, that they're able to receive treatments, from us. So that's also very important. So this is the Rosie's line. So I mentioned this earlier. So, you have this whole Lotan Pro umbrella. And then what Leora, the formulator now, Anna Lotan's daughter, is starting to do, which I really like because it can kind of simplify things. So she started with this toolkit we call Rosie's, and it was formulated really for redness, sensitive skin, but mainly for clients with any type of inflammation on their skin. So this is a collection of 9 products. Now, when she created this, oncology wasn't really like first in her mind, but as we started working with the products, and then we looked at all the ingredients, and so they're all been approved for, to be used by, estheticians on oncology patients, and also for them to use as home care. So all of these formulations are based on herbal remedies. So there's no medicated active ingredients. And because of this, their use is like unlimited. Like this, we are going to be given a giveaway. 3 of these, our This is the exfoliator in the line that we use on oncology patients. It's called Exfoliate and Restore. Because this is just an herbal-based formulation, clients, if they needed to, could use this 2 or 3 times at home if they wanted. So, you know, there's no medication, so it can be used as needed. They're very mild. They've all been dermatologically tested, you know, on sensitive skin. So I'm going to really just talk about a few of these products in the line, but I want to kind of focus on some of the ingredients that are in them. So the first product is called Splendor, and Splendor is a makeup remover. Now, this is a product that when you dispense it, it dispenses as a gel. And as you start to kind of, you know, massage it with the warmth of your fingertips, it inverts into an oil. And then when you add water, it becomes milky. So, you know, it's a very gentle, especially I really like this cleanser if the client does come to you and they do have a lot of makeup on. It's a nice first cleanse for a client. Either, you know, it doesn't even have to be an oncology patient. It could be any client that you have. But this one especially, it's really gentle on the skin and it does have that milky consistency. Some of the main ingredients here, it's a lot of oil. So you have the jojoba oil, the olive, the rose hip. It has hyaluronic acid also in it. So that's where it comes in and it really helps for that moisture retention. So the client, if they're already dry and their skin could be, they might, especially if they're going through radiation, there might be like scales on the skin. This really helps to soften any type of scales on the skin. And then we load it up with anti-inflammatories and antioxidants. Then we have a gentle cleanser, and the cleanser, this one is also good for, you know, it's even good for children. You could use it face and body. The main ingredient, you know, I tried to really just focus on, you know, ingredients that are kind of extra special in some of these products. So this one has this prickly pear extract. So it's soothing, it's moisturizing, it has antioxidant properties. The extract comes from this prickly pear, which has, you know, many benefits for the skin, but especially for sensitive and stressed skin. So again, this could be used, you know, once or twice a day, all over the body. And it's really good for retaining moisture, so the client never has that really dry feeling afterwards. This is our quenching gel is really one of, there's a couple of products in the Rosie's line that to me would be like the king and the queen, and this would be one of them. This is a gel mask. Again, you can use it in the room, but the client can also use this at home. Some of the main ingredients in here are, so antioxidants are really important, you know, for the, you know, to help fight free radicals. And I know Hale Hush is also loaded with, you know, antioxidants. You know, I almost feel as we learn more in the industry and the chemists become, you know, more fine-tuned to try to work with the skin as opposed against the skin, adding in all these antioxidants to me is also more important than some of the AHAs that lines put in skincare, just feeling like it's constantly we have to exfoliate skin, and we don't. You know, there's many times, and especially for this client. So this Arctic cloudberry is an antioxidant that's from the Nordic countries, and it can survive in those really extreme temperatures. And we've started to add it into, it's in our Rosie's line, but it is in some of our other newer products within the Art of Lotan Pro line. So, you know, it's a natural source of vitamin C, vitamin E, it's an antioxidant. It helps with environmental stressors. And it also naturally contains vitamin A, magnesium, and calcium. And all of those like nourish, repair, and they also protect the skin. So this is something that even if the client, say they had like a radiation burn, they could just leave this on for 15 or 20 minutes and they'll just have a lot of soothing on their skin. If it's on the other side where they have just some redness, it helps. What happens is through osmosis, the cells drink in the ingredients. And so the stratum corneum swells a little bit. So if they do have a lot of diffused redness, it almost makes it dissipate a little because now the capillaries aren't as close to the surface of the skin. So it's a really nice product, like I said, for the room, also for home care. And then it also has Ace Manon, and Ace Manon it's a premium freeze-dried aloe vera, and it's known to accelerate wound healing and promote like new cell growth. And again, it's really good for the treatment of burns and cuts. So again, the client who has any type of radiation burn, this is a really, really nice product that they could use. And it could be used anywhere on the body. You know, they could have it, you know, could be in the breast area, wherever they're being radiated. It's a nice product. Now, this to me would be if the quenching gel mask was the king, then exfoliate and restore is going to be the queen. This is the exfoliator that we really recommend for this, you know, sensitive, compromised skin. So what happens is when you dispense it, it's more of a gel. And as you start to massage it in, it will invert into an oil. And you can go to the next slide, Thomas. One of the main ingredients in here is, so they're all biomimetic components. And biomimetic means that the body recognizes them. And when the body recognizes them, they're either part of the natural moisturizing factor, or when the body recognizes them, there's less chance of irritation on the skin. So the hyaluronic will, as you massage it in, the hyaluronic gets delivered into the layers of that stratum corneum, and they just drink it in and they swell. And then they have nowhere to go because they're swollen, they're kind of pushing against each other, and then they just naturally exfoliate on their own. So it's not like, we're just pushing them along a little, and then we've loaded it up with, carrots, Siberian sea buckthorn oil, any of these oils that are loaded with, omega-3s and antioxidants. And it really helps if they do have any of that kind of like that flakiness or like a dry crust from their treatment. My sister did both. She mainly did chemotherapy, but even the chemotherapy caused like terrible rashes and kind of a buildup on all over her skin. And this really, really helped her to kind of soothe that, get rid of that kind of that buildup that was there from the crust. If they do have some type of like that crust on their skin where we're really going in to try to smooth out and exfoliate for them, then that's when I recommend this fast-acting herbal essence. This is kind of like your 911. Again, you can go to the next slide, Thomas. This has like a lot of purifying ingredients. It has myrrh and frankincense, but it has that oat beta glucan, that aloe vera, and then again, those lipids. So this really helps to strengthen the barrier, especially if they've had any type of a rash, especially if it's oozing. So kind of keep that in mind. Think about this product if there's any type of moisture in the skin. So this is even good for like maybe someone with like an eczema that has like the vesicles, they have the little blisters. So when they have any type of moisture, excess moisture on the skin, this is when I would use this, the herbal essence. And then this is a moisturizer that the client can go home with. It's called Calm and Cool Nameko Daily Moisturizer. So the big ingredient in here is this Japanese Nameko mushroom. So Nameko mushrooms are rich in mucin, and mucin helps retain moisture in the skin 6 times more than hyaluronic acid, and it promotes cell regeneration. So the mucin helps strengthen the skin's natural barrier, protecting it from environmental stresses. Now, you hear a lot about snail mucin. That was kind of popular many, many years ago, and then you never heard about it, and now it seems to be making its way back into our industry. This to me is especially if the client is, vegan or vegetarian, or, this is all the components within the Rosie's line are going to be plant-based. And again, this is really good for barrier protection. And we're adding this mushroom into a lot of our new formulations just because of the benefits. And then lastly, I thought I had a slide in here for, you can go to the next slide, Thomas, because I thought I had one in here for the exfoliate and restore. So that disappeared somehow, but that's okay. That's all right. I'll just talk about it. This is going to be Morgan's going to spin the wheel, and 3 of you are going to win. Oh, here it is, the exfoliate and restore. So the exfoliate and restore this is the exfoliator, like I just mentioned, and this will really help to, did I already talk about this? I did. Okay, I'm sorry. It was in my hand, so I thought I missed it. All right, so we can go forward. Okay. Hello. Okay, between the Zoom and this. So we have a blog on the Lotan website. And this really, it was written by Holly, who's part of FAB, which is a nonprofit. But it really gets into, talks about, cancer treatment, and what we can and what we can't do, depending on where they are in their treatment. So
And I did
level
put
A-
it in the chat box so everybody could
Okay,
access
great.
it.
Okay, super. So there's 3 protocols attached to it. Like, when I had a client call me once when I was, taking on all these new cancer patients. And she said, oh, my friend told me, you work on, oncology patients and blah, blah, blah. I would like to book a microneedling treatment. Okay. She was in active treatment. I was like, okay, no, that's something we can maybe talk about when you're a year out of treatment. So while they're in treatment, we are really just trying to make them comfortable, make their skin, heal their skin. We're not trying to do a lot of correction for that while they're in active treatment. We really just want to, they can come back to us a year later and we can talk about things, because a lot of times their skin will have now aged from chemotherapy. So we want them to come back a year later. So, and then we are offering a promotion for today's class. So you can go on to the website. I'll kind of back it up a little bit. We only sell to licensed professionals, so you will have to register for a professional account with us. You just go onto the website, you enter your license number, all that information. I'll make sure everything gets checked, by tomorrow morning. And then you can go on, you'll receive an email, and you can go in and type in HH15. And from now until Sunday night at midnight on Eastern Standard Time, you can receive 15% off any of the products on the Lotan website. And again,
thanks
3 of
for
you
doing
will
that,
win. 3 of you will win this exfoliate and restore. So, but I can't thank you enough, Shauna and Morgan and
Oh.
Chris, for inviting us on here and to collaborate and, take bits and pieces from both of our lines to really help this client, this type of client that comes into our practice.
Yes. Barbara, thank you for offering that discount to our estheticians. I appreciate that. That's very kind. I just think it goes to say that, we harp about ingredients all the time and what ones that you should use and shouldn't use. And Lotan has some really unique ingredients too. And that's why I felt it was important to combine our talents, right? You guys want to win some prizes now? We're going to give 6 prizes away. Barbara is going to give 3 of that exfoliate and restore, and we're going to give 3 small trifecta kits. So
Nice.
remember, Morgan has collected your names all along. She probably has all of them now. If someone isn't here, they get bypassed because they had to watch to the end.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's asking if they'll get a recording. There's a few questions, Barbara.
Yeah.
Let me run through those. Are you able to sustainably source that mushroom extract?
Absolutely. And Leora gets it from, so that's another reason that we use that on that Arctic cloudberry, that antioxidant I mentioned. We actually use one that is created in a lab because of sustainability. Because if you were to go to those Nordic countries and forest all those berries, they would be, extinct. So what they do is they can make it in a lab. when you put it, if it's made that it is like a nature identical, when you put that on the body doesn't know if it's the actual plant or if it's the made in the lab. So it's wonderful. So we do source, sustainably source anytime we can.
Awesome. And Barbara, do you offer specific trainings, like product trainings and
So
pro
we-
account?
Yeah, so once you register for a pro account, you will then, once it's accepted, you'll have access to on-demand, right on the website, we have, under the resource tab, we have a whole education modules. So you have, and you don't have, it's not like a 3-hour class. It could be 10 minutes, I'm talking about our cleansers. 10 minutes, I'm talking about serum. So you can break it up if you have 10 minutes in between clients or however. And then we do offer monthly trainings. And if you're in the Boston area, like I said, we're in Woburn, Mass, 10 miles north of Boston. We do, in-person live classes all the time too. So you can reach out to us, you can send any questions to us on info@lotan.us and we can answer any questions that you have. We have no minimum orders. We have no minimums. Like
Great.
someone just asked that. So, yeah.
Yes. And what kind of irritancy testing has been performed on the Rosie's line?
So because the Lion, we follow the European Union standards for formulations. Everything is sent out of, from our office. Most everything actually gets tested in Italy. And they do everything gets sent over to Italy and they do all their own testing over there. So we're testing it for microbes. We'll have an ingredient and they'll put them on, I believe they do it almost like on stainless steel tables. And they see how long does it take before a microbe will grow back into that testing. So, and I know sometimes in the US, when it says dermatologically tested, that doesn't really have a lot of clout here. But if it's a European-based line and it says it's dermatologically tested, it is dermatologically tested. Are you LEAP Bunny certified? We are not, and I'll tell you why. Because I've asked Leora that, like, why don't we have no animal testing and all of that? And it's because in the European Union, it's illegal. So she feels it's kind of redundant. Like, why put it on the label where we can't do it anyways because it's illegal. You can't do it in the EU. So that's why we don't have that thing on. If we were US based like you are, it's important to have that. But on the EU, it's not necessary.
We can't do it anyway, yes. Do you have back bar products or just retail?
Yeah, no, this is the whole line, the whole Rosie's line is back bar. So it has back bar, it has retail, and we have the mini trial kits. The only issue I'm having, I have a shipment at Logan Airport that's been sitting there since Sunday and, trying to get it released and I'm having struggles this week. So I have pretty much everything in stock, but the minis I'm very low on. Hopefully that gets delivered tomorrow and that's rectified. But for right now, I'm out of some of the minis.
Okay, we have 2 more questions, but they're a little bit general. So I'm going to give away the prizes first, and then I'll go
Okay.
back to the questions. And Sherry, I saw your question. I ignored it for just a little bit for a reason. So hold tight, okay? So, all right, Morgan, are you ready? You ready, girl? You're silenced.
I need permission.
Oh, wow. Hey, look
Control
at me.
freak.
I guess.
Okay.
All right. So,
Hopefully-
do you want to alternate them? What do you want to do, Morgan? You call it.
Do you have it set so we can't share our audio? It's not letting me click share sound.
No, you're talking.
I know, but I can't share the sound of my spinner.
How about host?
I'm looking at the sharing options and I don't see anything about sharing sound.
Oh, mine says options, share sound, and I could click it, but it's not letting me. That's okay.
I have a. Okay. Well, Morgan, just spin it and pick some names. We got to go. It's 3 o'clock.
Okay.
6 o'clock.
Yes. Well, It's 3 for us, Barbara, way over here on this coast. It's the hour. It's top of the hour.
Okay.
Sherry, I got you. Just hold on a second, okay?
First one is Marianne Surgeon.
Marianne in here? Get in that chat.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, great.
What are you gonna give her, Morg?
Let's do our trifectas first.
Okay.
So that's 1 trifecta. We're doing 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Please make sure you email me at education@haleandhush.com with your address.
Okay, second one is Jillian Freers.
Jillian, are you there?
Says she's in here. Where are you, Jillian? There she
Oh,
is.
she's here.
Great.
Okay, third one,
Congratulations.
Courtney Fung.
Courtney, no way. I'll let you have it, Courtney. Email me, you guys, email me your address, please. So I can send it. I don't have access to that where I'm at. Okay, let's give away the Anna Lotan, the one I would want, really. Exfoliation and restore.
3 of those
Three,
2.
yeah, 3, yeah, 3.
Shauna
Natalie.
Rocha. Oh,
Natalie Levette.
Natalie, are you in there?
Where are you at, Natalie? Says she's in here.
Oh,
Yep.
good. Okay, great.
Yes. How fun.
Second one, Megan Cube.
Megan, are you still there? I saw you in there. Uh-oh. Oh,
She said,
she's
no way.
I never win anything.
there. I wish you could hear the spinner. It's really fun. But
I know.
Tick, tick, tick,
And-
tick, 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 tick.
Eileen Lacasio.
Eileen, are you in there? Get to the chat box. Hurry.
Come on, Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. Really? Probably heard that her whole life.
Oh my God, I didn't even think of
Oh
that.
my God, I
I
love
didn't
that. I
think
love
about it
that
until
song.
Shauna did it.
I'm sorry,
I love
Eileen.
that
I
song.
did not. I didn't mean that.
Congratulations, everyone.
All
Now
right,
let's-
congratulations, everybody.
Anybody that has to go back to work, please go ahead. I do have 2 more questions that are just
Okay.
a little more.
my
Oh, Eileen
favorite
said it's her favorite song. She wasn't offended. Come on.
That's a great song. That's a great song.
I love it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sherry's been asking it a million times. Sherry, I'm sorry. Do you have intake forms you recommend? Does Anna Lotan, do you have one? Because ours is.
I
through
have a
Maybank.
very comprehensive one. I'm sure I have one from Fab that I could share. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? So if
We
you
have
want to,
one- Yes, we have one too on our website, and
okay,
I believe it's in the Airtable also. Hi,
Okay.
Denise. I didn't know you were in there. But yes, I've combined mine. Sherry, I took like 3 or 4 different people and then combined and then added what I needed to know.
yeah.
So that's what I would do. I'd start collecting them and just figure out what you want to know from your clients, and that's how I would do
Right.
it. And Shayna, I hope it's Shayna. Could be Shanna. The biggest advice you give a new esthetician that wants to become specialized in oncology aesthetics. Well, that's a loaded question.
It is a little
First of all, get your education, get your oncology courses. If you're, do not, remember the 4 8-hour courses are there to be teasers. If you're
Yeah.
not taking a comprehensive 3-day class, that does not, you've got to take the big one, get that under your belt. And then I would learn ingredients and sensitive skin before you do it. Sherry, you're fine, girl. I can see it. I just ignored you. It's my fault.
The other thing is, the first time when I started working with cancer patients, usually it was in a group setting, and we would use a vocational high school in the area because they have the cosmetology class, so they had the mirrors and everything was set up, and then the women, it usually was women. I don't mean to exclude men, but we very rarely had men come. It was mostly women, and they would share their stories, and I really I would like listen to their stories, feel, but I always, with the client, I always was trying to be a little more upbeat. And then I would sometimes cry the whole way home. And
Yes.
the more you do it, you can get through the treatment when they come, and it doesn't mean you can't, like have empathy and feel with them, but I really wanted it to be their time, not to come and be like, because a lot of times we have a connection, it brings up a memory for us for something. So, which happens to me all the time. So, when they're in the room, I just try to be focused on them and their relaxation. And if they want to talk, they can talk. If they don't, they don't. And then if I'm emotional, I try my best to try to save it to the end. It doesn't always
Yeah.
work, but sometimes it works. So,
Yesenia, we have one coming out in January of 2025. And
Okay,
it's
great.
with Morag Curran. It's a collaboration class with Morag.
yeah, that's
really
who I
me,
took
part
my
of
class from.
Yeah, it's me, part of our training team. I believe Laura and Tatiana are going to help me out. So yeah, we hope you guys love it. You guys, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on
so
today,
much. Thank you
Barbara.
again. Thank you everyone
I
for
love
coming
it.
on the call. But again, Shauna and Chris, thank you so much for inviting us on here. I really can't express my gratitude enough. It's
Oh.
really nice. So thank you
And
so much.
Thomas, we're so glad you turned on that camera so we
Yeah.
can see your handsome yet affordable shirt.
It's the best. I'm really good at that.
You are. It's very attractive.
All right.
You're
Thank you,
handsome.
everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. See you on the next one. There's only 2 left this year. Go register if you want in.
right.
Especially the one in December. Who wants to know the secrets? You better get there. Thank
All right.
you,
All right.
our fearless
We'll talk
leader,
soon.
Christine, for joining.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Chris. Okay.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Bye,
All right.
Thomas.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Morgan.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Bye,
Bye.
Shauna.